Oh gosh. Hi you guys. I had to take an anxiety pill to make this video. This is a serious topic that I wanted to talk about. Something that I've been thinking about talking about for a long time. I really needed that anxiety pill. Today I will be talking about racism and corruption in healthcare. I've been through a lot in my life, right? As most people. But specifically when it comes to my mental health, I've struggled a lot. I've really come a long way. But so like I've been admitted into psych wards quite a few times in my life. It happens to the best of us. But what is most alarming to me specifically, and what is most concerning to me, is my very concerning memories of how I was treated in these psych wards. These experiences are literally the reason why, as a Black woman, I cannot ignore racism and pretend that it doesn't exist like white people can, or like a lot of people in America do, because I literally experienced the negative effects of it. Okay, so my first thought that I wanted to express that gets on my nerves the most about racism in America, which a lot of people don't understand, is that I'm not even gonna say white people, racist people, when they're in a place of authority, any opportunity they get to mistreat a Black person, they take that opportunity. And that is the problem with racism and the ignorance that it stems from. So, like, for example, I'll give an example. So I'm just gonna tell my story. I don't know, I'm kind of scared of like not making sense, because like, I don't know, I'm gonna be talking about traumatic things that I've been through in the hospitals that I feel were based on racism and the fact that I am a Black woman. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that when you're a part of a marginalized group that is hated so much, people in high positions will take any chance they get to mistreat you. And I'm trying to be strong for this video so I can make my point, because already I really don't feel like talking about this, because it's very negative and I really hate racism and I wish it did not exist, and I wish I did not have to experience the negative effects of it, but I do. So of course, when I go to the psych wards, I am very mentally unwell. And so I display behavior of a mentally unwell person, as mentally unwell people do when they go to psych ward. And one thing that is very alarming for me is, like, I think back to past experiences. I remember there was this one time I was in the psych ward Let me think specifically what I was triggered by. I was triggered by racism, the psychological effects on Black people when you see for yourself how prevalent racism is, and you know that so many people are unaware of this. Like, I was working as a teacher at a school that was almost 100% Black students and almost 100% white teachers. And as a very quiet, reserved, observative Black woman, the lack of empathy for kindergartners, the lack of love, the lack of patience, the lack of humanization for little children was just beyond disgusting. But I already made a video about that. I'm not gonna go into that, but like, I had gone to the mental hospital as a result of like being very psychologically disturbed by witnessing all of that. So I was angry. I was very angry. And I was admitted into the psych ward, and I ended up cursing out a group of security guards. It was not my nicest hour. It was not my nicest hour. I don't remember exactly what triggered me to do that, but all I know is that I was mentally unwell. I was in the psych ward, and the thing that makes me upset is that if you work in the psychiatric section of a hospital, if that's your job choice, you need to expect behavior from mentally unwell people, and you should not be taking it personally and maliciously mistreating a mentally unwell person for acting mentally unwell. And so I had cursed these security guards out. I'm not proud of it, but I was really angry. My mom was there with me, and I had finally calmed down. I'm 5 feet tall. I'm about 100 and maybe 10 pounds. And so I had finally calmed down, and I went back to my room. My mom left and everything. And I was away from the security guards, and I thought that I was safe. Because to be honest, the psych ward, if you're mentally unwell, like, the psych ward should be a safe space for you to be mentally unwell, because that's literally what the psych ward is for. And what was so shocking to me was, like, so I went back to my room and sat on my bed, and I was finally relaxed. I wasn't angry anymore. And a group of so there were like 5 different security guards. So like all 5 of the security guards that I cursed out barged into my room. And so I was just, they like really scared me. Like, they just all came into my room. And so I panicked and I ran into the bathroom, and they followed me into the bathroom, and I started taking my clothes off so that they wouldn't touch me. And they grabbed me by my arms and my feet, dragged me, literally pulled me up, dragged me, carried me, by my arms. Two people had my arms. They had my arms and my legs like that, and they carried me. They had me like that, and they literally threw me into a padded room, locked me into a padded room, left me in there for a long time, and then they barged in again and stuck me with needles. So like, I may have, first of all, that was very traumatic. And the thing that's like so crazy is like, yeah, I may have cursed them out, but I wasn't a physical threat to anyone. I wasn't like putting anyone in danger. I wasn't throwing anything. I wasn't like endangering anyone. I just lashed out because I was mentally unwell and I was angry. And they took that so personal that they felt the need to drag me out of the bathroom and throw me into a padded room. First of all, I know if I was a white woman, they would not have done that. Cause I've been in the psych ward a lot, and I've seen white women, little white girls, I've seen white women do way worse, throwing stuff and doing way worse than I did, and not get treated like that. Like, I actually went to my room and decided to calm down, and they came after me to do that to me. And I was in my bra because I was taking my clothes off so they wouldn't touch me, because I didn't want them to touch me. And they still grabbed me while I was relaxing in my room. And it's like, why did you guys feel the need to do that? Like, were you guys just mad because I cursed you out? And if you're mad because I cursed you out, why are you working in a psych ward? Like, if you work in a psych ward, like, you may get cursed out. These are mentally unwell people. And it's just interesting how, like, as a Black woman in America, you're bound to get mistreated. Like, don't you dare. It's like, that's what I mean by any chance that racist people get to mistreat you, any chance they get to mistreat you, to really treat you like you're the bottom of the barrel, to really do you in, to really traumatize you, any chance they get to do that, they will do that. I can think of a lot of times in and out of the psych ward where, like, I was just treated with so much insensitivity. Like, my needs as a mentally unwell person were not being met at all. There has been, like, I've come out of the hospital in way worse mental condition than I came in, and then end up having to go back because the stay at the hospital that's supposed to make me feel better traumatized me even more. Let me tell you this one story. Trigger warning, because this is weird. I had this doctor when this is the first time I ever went to the psych ward, and I was going through it. And like, I was so mentally unwell that I didn't even realize I was in the hospital, which is scary because I feel like when you're mentally unwell and you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable. Like, you're really vulnerable. And I'm lucky that nothing bad has happened to me in psych wards. Nothing like really bad. I mean, bad things have happened to me, but like nothing like that will scar me for life severely. But I had this doctor, and he was creepy. My intuition told me he was creepy. He was an older white man, and as soon as he walked into my room, it's like a room, and then there's a bed on this side and there's a bed on this side, and he walked in, and like, I was mentally unwell, so I didn't really have a grasp on where I was and stuff like that. And as soon as he walked in, I remained respectful. I was like, can you please sit on that bed over there? Because I don't really want, that's all I asked. I just said, can you please sit on that bed over there? And the reason why I told him that is because I'm in this environment that is not my home, that is not comfortable, and nurses are not nice. Nurses, a lot of the time, are not nice people. And so, like, I've been screamed at by nurses literally just for asking when I can go home. Like, I remember this one nurse, she was a black lady. I just asked her when I could go home because I wanted to go home. And she was like, don't ask me questions that I don't know the answer to. Ah! And she like yelled at me. And I cried. Horrible. But I had this, okay, I gotta focus. I don't want to tell this story because it's so creepy. But I had this one doctor, and as soon as he walked in, I said, can you please sit on that bed over there? Because I didn't want him near me. And he was asking me all these questions and stuff, and he was very creepy. And I had food, I had my dinner sitting on the table, and he was like, I'll take that for you. And he took my dinner to go throw it out. And you guys, he took the fork that I ate off of, and he looked at me in a like nasty little seductive way, and he licked the fork that I ate off of. When he did that, I was already mentally unwell, and I did not know, like, I didn't really understand where I was. So when he did that, like, that freaking ruined me even more, because when he did that, like, I thought that I was gonna be getting sold into human trafficking. It was so nasty. Like, he did it as if he was like trying to seduce me. And you know what he was trying to do? That doctor was evil, because he wasn't trying to seduce me. He was trying to make me feel even more uncomfortable than I already was, because he could see that I was very uncomfortable in that hospital situation. And he did that to make me feel even more uncomfortable. I'm sure karma already got that man. That was nasty. That was nasty. Like, I was disgusted. I was so disgusted. Like, oh my god. Ugh. Till this day, that still disgusts me. Like, you really did that in my face? Like, that's nasty. There was another time when oh my gosh, I've had crazy experiences in the mental hospitals. I had to go to court with this Asian doctor, this female Asian doctor, and I cursed her out too, because she was just so insensitive. Like, literally talking to her about my needs, how I feel, it's like, you should have never even asked me how I feel, because literally talking to you is like talking to a brick wall. You're very insensitive. You don't have any empathy for me. And I just feel like it's because I'm a black woman. You don't see me as human. You're on a high horse because you think that you're some doctor who knows what's best for me more than me. And you're not even listening to me. And I went to court with her. And they had given me this medicine that makes me very, very restless. Like it made one of the symptoms was it made my body shake like constantly. And so I was having lots of trouble sleeping. I was having lots of trouble relaxing, and I was mentally unwell on top of that. So it was a really hard time for me. And the nurses and doctors were not helping at all. They were just making things worse. And I had a psychologist. They had me talk to this psychologist, and I literally fell on the floor crying. And she looked at me and stepped over me and walked away. Nurses and doctors, it's like they go through so much school and work to become a doctor and nurse. It's like they forget how to have basic human empathy. Like they don't have it. They don't have basic human empathy. And that's why people, I think that's why people in America are so sick, mentally and physically, because the basic human empathy is not there, especially for Black people. Like I met this boy. I met this boy at the mental hospital, and he's probably one of the most unique, special souls that I ever met. Like he was quiet and we hung out and he opened up to me, and like he just gave me so much knowledge. Like, and he was a really chill person. And I ended up being traumatized because I watched the security literally witnessed the security guards really mistreating him and manhandling him in a way that was very unnecessary. And he was a Black male, and it really broke my heart to watch that. Like I sat and I watched them do this, and of course I was sticking up for him and yelling at them to stop. Like there were like other patients that were there watching this happen, and we were yelling at them to stop. But it's like, yeah, that's the one thing about racism that I really hate, is that people in these power positions display their racism in a way that is suppressing and very harmful to the people that are in need of their services. Like, if you are a nurse or a doctor in a psych ward and you're racist, that is incredibly problematic. Like, that is actually disgraceful. Like, you're honestly lower than... People think that doctors are like so high in society and deserve so much respect because they're doctors and nurses, but it's like a lot of y'all are not good at your jobs. A lot of you guys really lack basic human empathy, and it shows. It shows very clearly. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I might make a part 2 to this video. I might talk about this topic a little bit more. It's a little bit exhausting to talk about this though, because it's just so negative. Like, it's an issue that I really wish did not exist in the world, because it's in the weight that it has on my mental health. Like, my guru, of course, helps me detach from the bad in the world, but it really just is like really unfortunate. But wow, I finally spoke out about this. I'm proud of myself. I've been wanting to talk about this like for a while, but like sometimes I get scared of, well, thanks to my guru, I'm not scared anymore, but sometimes I get scared to really tell my truth and express myself. But what there's what is more valuable than truth? Like, I'm gonna speak my truth, period. I don't care. Yeah. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't be racist. If you're a nurse or a doctor, please try to be aware of your subconscious insensitivities towards black and brown people. Please. Please. Because America conditions you to be racist. It conditions black people to hate themselves, and it conditions everyone else to hate black people and be racist. And it really affects us in negative ways that are very serious, that a lot of people don't realize or notice. Like, I might make another video about racism in classrooms and in schools. I already made a video about that, but I might dive a little bit deeper into that, and how teachers will purposely, sometimes white teachers purposely antagonize black students because they are racist. And they will manipulate the parent to make it seem like the child is the problem. Yeah, unfortunately, that is a reality for a lot of kids. I've seen it myself. Thanks for watching, and spread peace and love, and care for people, no matter what their skin color is. Care for people. Like, don't be the problem in the world. Be a part of the solution. Be a part of the progression.